Hi, guys. Happy New Year, and thank you for joining us for our first interview, uh, dual interview for 2024. So, let me get into a few things before we really get started here. Okay, this background is really. Let me unmute. Let me unmute myself for YouTube. Okay, that's not cute. Anyway, so what you see in the back, why it's blurred, is my studio, and it's not cute. It's not cute. So because it's not cute, I'm gonna. I because it's not cute. I have it blurred out. So if that bothers you, I apologize. But here with me today, we have Tokes Ojo-Ade. I hope I pronounced her name right. And I saw her a few years ago on social media when she was talking about fashion and clothes and how to put things together. Mainly she was expressing what she had in her closet. And I was like, wow, she is really powerful. One day she's going to be big. So I remember I sent her a message and we met. And I said to her, I said, you are going to blow up. You are going to get out of your closet and blow up. And now she's dealing with him. She's dealing with different brands and she's a known influencer. Then we have Darius, who is my Nigel from a few years back. So y'all know wherever I was, Nigel was right there, and that's Darius Thompson. So he's here. So I'm gonna bring both of them on the line now, so you all can meet them like I know them. Okay, so we'll bring Tokes on first. We'll add her, and now we're adding Darius.
Hi.
I'm so excited. I love these two. Toast doesn't know how much I love her, but I watch her. Do you call them reels? Your reels
Reels.
um
Yes.
on Instagram, and she is just, oh my god, with a little shoe. And so I'm gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you now in front of everybody. When your reels go off, I stand there and try to do the shoe. It never works out. learned I've learned that I need to stay in my lane, which is production, and just look cute when I can. And I'm gonna let you do the reels. How about that?
You look cute today, Sharon. You always look cute. So yes. You're winning on the cute factor. So
Okay,
yes.
okay,
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
yeah.
And then we
Yep.
have. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, good. Okay. And then we have Darius down at the lower level of the screen, no
Thank
pun intended, and he is my Nigel. So be these two right here are the fashion kings and queens. And if you need to know anything about fashion, Darius has to hook up for a escape, and you see he has that in the background. And he also interviewed SWV, correct?
you. Yes.
Interview SWV. That was it. And if he
Nice.
gets a chance, he can send me the link to that and we'll drop it so
Yeah.
you all can see it. But hey, Alchemy. So he was amazing in the interview. I knew not I want to call you Nigel. I knew Nigel. Were you still in college or just
Yes.
starting?
I was 19.
Wow.
Don't live the fashionable friendships, y'all.
Yes. I
Oh,
had just came back from studying abroad in London and Paris, and I met you at your Baltimore Fashion Week event for interns. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes. We go back.
Nice.
Go back.
We go. Whoop.
Nice.
Back.
I mean, Darius has, he was my aunt, my like Miranda Priestley had Nigel. He was my Nigel and my Andy, and would check me, keep me straight, keep me sane, because y'all don't understand. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about fashion. That's a whole nother video that we'll talk about in a few days. But anyway, so let's talk about Tokes. Tokes, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from, and
Sure.
what's a special thing that people don't know about you. And then Darius, this also applies to you too.
Okay.
So both of you, tell us about yourself. Um, how tell us about yourself, how you love what you do, and then a special thing that nobody knows. And so, Tokes, you'll go first. So, what I in my interviews, what I like to do is bring people, just let them have their limelight or their spotlight, and then we'll bring everybody else on individually. So, Tokes, you'll go first.
Okay. Darius has more time. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Tokes Ojo-Ade. I am known online on socials as Tokes Take on Style. And I am a fashion and content creator when I am not in my day job as a corporate marketing professional. I have a passion for fashion. I love inspiring busy, everyday working women. We all wear many hats as women, doing the most. And I just love inspiring women through effortless tips. So it doesn't have to be difficult. I always say people make fashion more complicated than it needs to be. So my goal is to make fashion less complicated. And so I do that by sharing effortless tips. So um, I love fashion and I also share lifestyle content as well through socials. And I'm very excited about a launch that's coming up because I'm launching my own brand of belts. Belts are the most underrated accessory. So I am excited about bringing TTOS belts. I don't know if you can see the belt here, y'all, but super excited about bringing TTOS belts coming soon to my website in a few weeks. So super excited. And in terms of one thing that folks don't know about me. I think most folks know that I'm a mom and wife, and that keeps me busy. I'm a girl mom to an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old going on 30. They keep me very busy. But something that a lot of people may not know is in a former life, I probably would have been a DJ. I love music. I love music, y'all. Music is life. And so I love all kinds of genres. If you look at my Spotify playlist, you'll be amazed at just the number of genres that are represented. And so I always joke and say, if I could have done something else, I would have been a DJ. So I think I covered all your questions, Sharon. I
This part
love, oh,
about
there
the
you go.
this part about the DJ. Okay, so my lives, I'm always muted. So just help a sister out.
Yeah.
Um, the part about the DJ is interesting to me because I would never think that that would be a field you would want to go in. But being a DJ, I think you will be well known for your fashionable style.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love like music. A lot of my friends laugh because we'll be talking about something and I'll throw in like a line from a song. So they always joke and say, I have a line from pretty much any song to go with different situations. So yeah, I would have been a DJ, I feel like, if I could have done something differently.
Okay, cool. So
Yep.
thank you, Tokes, and we'll be back with Tokes in a few minutes. So next week, we're going to bring up Darius. So Darius,
Hey.
this is your time to shine. I will remove myself from the feed so you can do what you do.
Okay. Hey guys, how are you? I am Darius Thompson. Most people know me from social media as Mr. Dress and Rest. I am the CEO of Hardcore Glam Productions, where I am a celebrity creative director and host. I do have my podcast, formerly known as Soulful Sundays. We'll be soon turning that over to Brunch Buddies, but it's where we celebrate all things Black entertainment. And I am an award-winning runway coach and a runway show producer, which I have been doing for now 19 years. I started at 15. And just like Tokes, I love music. That has been a great influence on how I got into fashion. I've been able to connect music and fashion together. And that is how I end up being a creative director, where I primarily work with a lot of girl groups that you may know of. SWV, Escape, In Vogue. That's been amazing. Allure. And so that is kind of where I've been at as far as fashion. I started, at 15, and I'm an alumni of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore with my Bachelor's of Science in Fashion Merchandising and a minor in business, as well as a master's, an MBA, in marketing at LIM College in New York. I am a dad of a 4-year-old who loves to be in front of the camera now. So a guilty pleasure that we that we enjoy taking pictures. And he now thinks that he's the boss because now he likes to go and check with the photographer, make sure that his images are just the way he likes them. So pray for me, guys. Also, if you guys do not know, I got my start as far as big productions with Baltimore Fashion Week. So thanks to the Sharon Nixon for giving me that opportunity at such a young age at 19 with doing big productions and dealing with over 100 models at a time. And what else? One interesting thing about me, even though I love fashion, love entertainment, love music, all those things, when I'm home, guys, I like to sit up, eat ice cream, and watch Dr. Pimple Popper. Okay, nothing fashionable or cute about it, but that's my little guilty pleasure. So yes, my whole life is not surrounded by this, by this, but I do enjoy it. And when I'm home, I like to kind of decompress from that and enjoy some regular old fun TV. You're muted, boo. I can't hear you, boo.
I'm always muted.
It's okay.
You would think a new
Family.
year,
It's
you would
okay.
think a new year would bring in differences. It didn't. It
Okay.
didn't.
You're with family. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the interview process. And for those of you who are on YouTube and Facebook, um, if you want to drop any questions, you can drop them in the comment. If you are not subscribed to Facebook, it will come up as users. So you have to drop your name in the comments. We do have a moderator, so please let's keep this community friendly on our YouTube page and on our Facebook page. So let's bring both of our interviewees back. I don't know, something. So hi. So Tokes, I can't believe so with you branching out into your entrepreneurship journey, how
Yes.
hard was it? Because belts, like you mentioned, are under, I guess, understated or not used as much as a ring or necklace or earrings
Hmm.
or glasses. What made you select a belt?
I think because I love belts. And this was again talk about you just latch on to something. So probably when I was in my 20s, I won't say my age now, but I'm over 40, right? So closer to 50. But way back in my 20s, this was in my New York days when I was single, living in New York. That year belts were really in, whatever year that was when belts became my thing. And when I saw how well it just helped accentuate, my waist, it just made a difference in terms of how my outfits were looking. And when I would go to work, I would get a lot of compliments. I worked at Amex at the time at American Express, and I would get a lot of comments just because I added a belt. So I was onto something. So since then, belts have stayed with me. So I don't care if people say, oh, belts are in this season or not in or whatever. I don't care. Okay. Belts are timeless. So and for me, if I discovered that and I saw just again how this underrated accessory can make an outfit, why wouldn't I want to share that with other women? And because sometimes you look at an outfit and you're wondering what about an outfit is speaking to you and why someone's outfit looks so elevated and sticks out. I see Darius as an expert nodding his head. And sometimes it's those little touches. And so that was really why I said, you know what? I keep getting because I get a lot of questions about belts when I wear belts. Where did you get it from? And all of that. So I'm like, you know what? If there's one thing that I'm going to do to again go on this, entrepreneurship journey beyond, my life as an influencer, then it's going to be something that I love and that I've, done a lot of research on that I can bring to everyday women like myself. And so that's what made me think about belts.
So when you started, did you think about partnering with another brand, or did you just find it relevant for you to create your own lane and have your own touch on it? Was it
So
hard?
it's been hard. I was on Instagram the other night crying, tears of joy, like just in terms of Sharon's like, uh-oh, tears of joy, right? I started this journey before the pandemic, y'all. That was how long ago. And think about that. We're now in 2024. So I was just talking about, and they're on a ship shipping from China. Okay. So for me to see the work, right, and how long it took from pre-pandemic to now in 2024, it's huge. And so that's why I was crying, not because, there was something else. But in terms of partnering with other brands, having watched many, many hours of Shark Tank, right, back in the day, I feel like it's always best for you to start out on your own and then see what happens. So that's the route that I want to take, is to start by selling it on my website, maybe sell it on Amazon and say Etsy first. And then maybe once I see sort of what the trend is, if I go to a trade show or two, I might be calling Darius for advice about stuff now that I've met Darius. So then I feel like then I can think about, okay, do I want to reach out to boutiques, right, to carry the belt, or Lord willing, if that's God's will it be bigger where I somehow end up, say, in like a, on the shelves at Target or somewhere. So, but yeah, I want to start, on my website first, through socials on my website, maybe Amazon and Etsy, and then we'll see, what happens. And if that's God's will, then yeah, I might end up on a retailer's shelf at some point.
Well, we're going to claim it that that's where you'll be. I'm
Amen. As long as the money is still good, because they're gonna want to take a cut. They're gonna want to take a cut. So that's why I'm like, we'll start on our own first, and we try to break even and make some profits, and
Yes.
then we'll see what happens. Because then
okay.
they'll want some of that commission. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much. So, Darius, tell us how your experience being a producer, well, going to school,
Mhm.
being a producer, actually dealing with the ups and downs of doing a show. I know you just did one recently. Was it November the 5th? What
November
is
the 4th. Yeah,
November
November
the
the
4th,
4th. Yeah.
right? Okay, because I missed it. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. But we're not going to talk about that. And then you jump from going to school, doing production, running your own business, and then you started interviewing celebrities.
Yes.
How did those three or that journey mesh together to create one fabulous everything for you?
Well, I guess we kind of go a little further back. If some of you may or may not know, I literally have grown up around fashion all
Hmm.
my life. My godfathers are the Earl Bannister and Carl Trojan, were the amazing designers from Baltimore. And so, as you can imagine, as a little kid growing up around these two, fashion is a thing. Is a thing.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, and then my mom gave shows with them. And so me being around it, I just enjoyed it so much. And so as I got older, it kind of just hit me like, no, this is what I want to do. So around the age of 15, I decided I wanted to start my own modeling team at school. And so actually, my school told me no. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to take my friends from school and I'm going to start producing shows. And so literally, I kind of went up under them and kind of went through the process of learning how to, like, book designers, coming up with concepts, lighting, staging, the whole thing. And so once I went off to college, which originally I was supposed to be at LIM for undergrad, I actually got accepted on the spot, but they were very expensive. And so, and so my mother said, I can pay for you to go, but not to that school. So we have to figure something else
Okay.
out.
Okay.
And so that was fine. So I went to Eastern Shore, and I mean, that being if you've ever been to a HBCU, every day is a fashion show. Okay, every day you get up and you're on the campus, you're on the yard. Okay, you got to look good, especially if you're a fashion major. So I took my time there, and I got really cultivated in the experience, and I did shows for our modeling team, but also by me being a fashion major. I did shows for the fashion department. And while there, I had this idea of starting my own stylist competition, which they still have till this day. So it's about, I graduated over 10 years ago. So, that was really exciting. And I kind of laid out that format. And then, of course, in the midst of me being in college, I meet the Sharan Nixon, coming off of studying abroad in London, Paris. And so, truthfully, during my time during Baltimore Fashion Week, it really showed. And I'm going to be very transparent because, of course, you go to shows and all those things. You've been around it, but I had never experienced a caliber of show like yours, Sharon. Like to have that many people. I mean, we're talking about
Thank you.
20 something designers or more over a 4 day course, like to have multiple shows back to back, dealing with vendors, marketing, promo. I was like, okay, so now I was getting into a deeper dive of this
Mhm.
thing. Like, this is a totally different experience. And so, that was amazing. And you really just trusted me with like the whole thing because I initially came in, guys. I was like, oh, I'm going to be an intern, a volunteer. And she was like, no.
No.
No, not with all this talent. No, sir. You're gonna be next to me with me always. I said, yes, ma'am. And so, no, seriously, that changed everything. Like, and then I learned about PR and public relations and putting out statements. And so that led me to now later on, I started producing my shows in a different kind of way, how I envision things. And so me getting into, and I was always into like the really creative part of it. I was very detailed on the music, how it was mixed and how the lighting, I wanted my show to always tell a story. And of course, you're doing photo shoots and all those great things. And so pandemic comes. So of course, all this time I graduated from college. I'm still doing shows and I'm coaching kid teams. And I really enjoyed it because I was providing a safe space for children to have, to kind of enjoy their creative side and for them to model and dance and design and all those great things. And so that's I've been doing that for a long time. And so now what I do is I travel to different schools. So actually, I'll be at Rowan University next month and doing runway boot camps. Yes. So, so I travel now and do that. And that's really, really fun. And so getting into hosting and being and having a podcast, that was the pandemic. I was in a space where I was like, I need to get my creative juices. Something needs to happen. And you couldn't do anything. And I've always loved music and entertainment. I've always been that kid or that person to kind of like read the credits and who wrote what, who produced what, who styled what. And I was like, okay, so I want to now tap into that. And of course, we had IG. So I used my IG Live. And I kind of took a leap of faith. I started reaching out to different people, just hoping they would say yes. And so my first guest was 702. It was like, sure, we'll do it. And I was like, really? Okay. Okay. And it kind of just went from there. And what happened was, as I was meeting these different artists and things, and we are starting to talk and connect, they learned, like, wait, man, you do what? You're in fashion, you creative direct, you choreograph. Oh, come start doing stuff for us and with us. And so that opened up a whole other door. And it was funny because that's always been a dream of mine. One of my idols is actually Frank Gadsden, who is the famous creative director and choreographer for Beyonce, In Vogue, Brandy, all those big names. And so I started to go down that route to take all of my experiences and putting them with different artists. And it has been a whirlwind and I am grateful. And here we are.
I think that's so, I didn't know all of that information, but kudos to you. Kudos to both of you.
Thank
Um,
you.
because you stepped out on faith. Whenever you start anything, um, you just step out on faith and you just keep praying that whatever you started will flourish into this big ball of success. And
Yes.
so all the times when we're in business, we don't see that ball is built. I know for me, I've never kind of sort of seen it because I've always wanted to stay focused. And people will say, "Oh my God, you don't see it anyway." And so with the two of you, you'll see that ball morphing, and you'll like you told. She said you cried the other night, and but there are tears of for me. What I had to learn in my journey is that there were tears of growth. So
Mhm.
when for me, whenever I break down and cry and throw stuff around and then have to go pick it up, I realize that something big is about to happen. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is helping me. So now I want to get back on to the fashion aspect because it's called Style Talks
Yes.
2024. And I want to ask a question that a lot of individuals may not want to ask, but I'm going to ask it. So, with you two being in fashion, I know there are some days that you don't want to be your best. Like you don't want to be to the 15s all the time. And when, how do you handle that? Not all the time, um, not all the time being on a 15. Like sometimes you just want to wear whatever because I'm just going to the store. But then you always run into somebody. So that happened to me one time. I was out Towson and I ran into somebody who was big. And I'm like, do y'all, nobody says anything to George Lucas. Nobody. So leave me alone because I'm chilling. So how do the two of you deal with that being in a region that's kind of sort of like that? What they see on social media, they expect you to be that 24/7.
You want to go first, Tokes, or you want me to go? For me, I make it very clear I am a human. Okay, so I just every day is it's not that, and I stay around people that love me for me. They don't expect anything, extra or whatever. They love Darius for who he is, and they keep me grounded. So I'm not really around a bunch of outside people. I keep my circle very small, but you know, as far as now, and some people like on days that I think I look a mess, people are like, you look so nice. And I'm like, I have on like sweatpants and like some Crocs and okay. But I guess because most of my down stuff, I kind of jazz it up a bit, throw in a peak coat with it, whatever. But outside of that, I really don't worry about it. Of course, like you said, there are days where I'm just like, ugh, but I don't care. Ultimately, ultimately, because when it's time to step out, I step out.
And Tokes.
Yeah, same. If once we're done, okay, because I dressed up for you, Sharon. I dressed up for you. Today, I am not going anywhere because it's snowy. The kid who had the basketball game today, her dad took her to the basketball game. I am not going nowhere today, Sharon. So when we're done here, okay, since I do have my makeup done or whatever, my face done, I might record a reel with this outfit because I don't
Okay.
want it to waste. But once I'm done, I will either be in pajama pants or sweatpants. And that's how I roll when I'm at home. Now, when I go to work, because I do have a day job, like I said, and it's corporate, so I do show up, right? I always have to look professional. But if I'm going to the grocery store or going, to one of my kids' games or something, I'm usually dressed down. Though, like Darius was saying, our definition of dressed down might maybe not be as, dressed down as other people. Because, yes, some people may say, oh, that looks so cute. And I'm like, it's just a set. Like, it's literally a matching set. And I threw on like a cute coat or whatever,
Right.
or the shoes, add a pop of color. That's it. But there's nothing, no makeup on, like looking. So I feel like it's all about realizing, right, that we wear many hats and there's a time and place for everything. And for me, having two girls in particular, it's very important for me to show them that you don't have to always, be a certain way every time. It's okay for you to, lounge and
Mm.
not always have to, be camera ready, if you will, especially with my 13-year-old. We're at that phase now as a teenager where, how girls are, like, she's dealing with, trying to figure herself out, find herself, her personality with girls and all of that. So I'm just like, you don't always have to feel like you need to look a certain way. It's okay to be bummy because there will be days where it's all right to be bummy. And when you're supposed to, look dressed up, then you make sure that you look dressed up and you look ready for whatever the occasion is. But yeah.
Well, I totally agree with you. Like I do what I want to do. I really don't care. So either you like it or we can go shopping. That's the only way to it. So for the two of you, oh my God, I lost my. Hold on. Oh, for the two of you, I know you two have jobs
Yes.
and your style aesthetics are extremely different. When you first, I know for me, when I changed my style of dress, when I woke up and said, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want. Um, it was a huge shift at work. So for you, for the two of you, how did that your style of dress? Because people in our caliber or individuals in our caliber, when you're in the fashion you do what makes you feel good,
Mhm.
and then others may not, they may not attract to that right away, and it takes a minute. So for the two of you, did you ever experience that on your jobs, or you when you walk into a meeting? How do they take that?
So with me, I'm at the point and stage in my life where, like you said, I don't care as much anymore. And not that I don't care, so I wear whatever. I still always want to make sure that I look polished and professional for work. And I work in financial services, so it's a little more conservative, and it's in Baltimore. So I feel like it would be different if I was in, say, a city like LA, right, or New York. Then it might be different. It's a different vibe. But here, people tend to be more conservative. So I have to make sure that I'm reading the room, if you will, and not showing up, in something completely outrageous. But at the same time, I do wear, what makes me feel comfortable. And yes, do I get a lot of comments? Yes. There was one point where someone was telling people that I, never repeated outfits to work. And I'm like, that's not true because I can't even afford that, first of all. But to me, that's a testament of me being able to mix and match, right? So yeah, I'm not concerned right now about what people think about me in terms of how I show up at work, because I know I'm always, professional. I'm always going to look good. And if you want to talk about how I'm always a little more dressed up than everyone else, then to me, I'd rather that than someone say she's, not dressed, appropriately, or people making those types of comments. So yeah, Darius, I don't know what you think.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm a educator by day. I help run the college and career counseling department at my school that I work at. And so I think I've always been kind of looked at as like the cool counselor, the cool educator because of how I dress. Like I will wear this sometimes to work, and everyone loves it. But I, of course, know when it's like a board meeting or it's parent teacher, certain things or certain events, I may be in full suit, tie, turtleneck, whatever. I just have fun with it, and that's actually how I've been able to connect with students a lot more because they're like, I just love what Mr. Thompson has on, and thankfully, I've for the most part always worked in environments where my teammates, my colleagues have always been like, I love it, I'm here for it. And so, but outside of that, I'm just me, and I don't know any other way to be, but just me, myself. And like Toke said, I definitely love to mix and match. I might have on a full suit and have on a hoodie with it. I just may. I may have on, high waisted pants with a turtleneck and tennis shoes. It depends. It just really depends on how I'm feeling that day. Or you may see me in the full suit, shirt, tie, suited and booted, dress pants, the hard bottom shoes, flower on my lapel, the whole thing, right? And I think that's what makes fashion so fun because you don't have to look like one thing, and there shouldn't be a particular look stem with a certain profession. Of course, certain jobs you may just have to be a little bit more conservative, but that is the freedom that I like with what I do as my day job. I can wear whatever I want, pretty much for the for the most part. So, I definitely can agree with that. Just having fun with it.
So make sure I'm not muted. Okay, I'm not muted. So I have a question. So style also trickles over into design aesthetics for designers, right? I gotta watch how I phrase this. Whew, okay, pray with me. So how I need you, I would not need, I would like for you to give a piece of advice to designers that are coming up that are just, if you can, designers that are just coming up that are starting their brand, they're unsure, they're on this fence, but the fence is wavering because they're unsure of which direction they want to go. If you were a designer, and you kind of sort of are, you just don't know. I don't know if you know that, but to me, you're a designer because you're a creator of style. So if you could give a piece of advice to them, what would you give them, and how would you introduce them to managing that new realm that they're entering into? Was that a hard question? Darius.
No, 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 not hard. I'm just trying to think it through, make
Okay.
sure I process it. Hmm. One thing I would say is be true to who you are.
Mhm.
Whatever is your style, aesthetic, design, concept, stick to that. Do not try to replicate or be anyone else or any other designer. The biggest thing that I would also say is make sure that your work is quality, because quality will always will always outshine any trend that's happening. And just think about creating a timeless look. You want to think about in 15 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, will this still be hot? Like, will this stand the test of time? And so that's what you want to do, and which why I love buying, like, timeless pieces. Like this blazer. I mean, I've had this blazer since college, so um, so that's something that I enjoy. It's simple. It's just a basic tan blazer, but I can dress it up, dress it down, do whatever. But just knowing who you are, being authentic, producing quality work, and have fun. Like really, like have fun with your craft. Do not let anybody else dictate how you should go about, your brand. And know that you are your brand. So every day you leave out, rep your brand.
Mhm. Tokes, did you have anything?
Yeah, no, I was soaking that up because I love that. Um, so yeah, I was going to say similar to Darius, you have to feel comfortable with whatever it is that you're designing, because if you're doing something to pretty much replicate what you see other people doing because you think that that's what the market wants or that's where the demand is, and it's not really something that you love or that's truly, that's truly coming right from a place of what you really want to do or are inspired to do, it won't work. And so I think that authenticity piece that Darius mentioned is really key, to just be true to yourself, figure out what really makes sense. And I love that's why I was clapping when you said timeless. I am a fan of timeless classic pieces. And that's why I was making the joke about belts, because you'll read something where they'll say such and such is in, such and such is out. There are some staples, right, that never go out of style. And so it's always great to think about that. And I feel like, given the way fashion and just the industry, right, is moving, there are all these things going on, like sustainability, there's AI, right, and how people are using AI to design. There are all these other dynamics. So I think one has to, if you're going to be a designer, you have to be forward thinking and not be so, narrow minded or thinking about the here and now. You have to think, like Darius was saying, about the future, and will this make sense, 10 years, even 5 years from now, 5, 10 years from now. So that would be my piece of advice.
So now I want to talk about something else which is dear to my heart, thrifting. I love shopping. I love doing estate shopping when you go in. Well, you all know what that is. For those of you who don't know what estate shopping is, it's when someone is having an estate sale, someone has passed away and left their products or items to whomever. And sometimes families will let the public come in and purchase. So you can buy really good jewelry from there. I purchased a few pieces of jewelry from estate shopping. I call it estate hopping. Clothes. I love going to thrift stores. So how do those components, do they have a huge place in your style? Do you go there a lot, or do you incorporate pieces, or do you just shop off a rack, like a retail rack?
Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't say it's a huge piece, but it is a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So there are pieces that I've gotten from thrift stores, and I feel like not every thrift store is created equal. You know what I mean? Like, there's some where you can go, depending on the neighborhood, right? Depending on the store, where you go in and you're like, wow, like there's so many gems here. But
Mm-hmm.
it is definitely a part of my wardrobe. So I, will buy stuff from thrift stores or websites every now and then. Another way that, for me, like, again, thinking about that sustainability piece, is I have bought pieces from, websites, because a lot of websites now, if you've noticed, they're all adding that,
Mm-hmm.
into their offerings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even mainstream retailers are doing that. So
Mhm.
whether it's your Express or your Saks Off Fifth, everyone's, even like the big, the big brand department stores are starting to all offer, used, if you will, or gently used items as part of their offerings. So yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a huge part of my wardrobe, but it definitely is a component. Like you said, I've gotten like nice, brooches. Like there's a Chanel pin that I got,
Yeah.
from thrifting. So there are pieces like that that are always, hidden gems. And I love that. I love when you find something, valuable and it doesn't cost as much as it normally would. To me, that's like, that's nirvana. When you can find something like that, then yes. Darius, I don't know what your thoughts are.
No, I agree. I started thrifting in college because I didn't have any money. So, but I wanted to still look good. But no, you're right. You can find some amazing pieces depending on where you're at. I used to literally go from Salisbury, Maryland, all the way to Baltimore, to New York, to Philly, and thrift and find some amazing sweaters, blazers. I had this one blazer. It was it's a vintage Ralph Lauren blazer, and oh my god, it had patchwork on it. Amazing, and I can't fit it anymore. However, however, no, it was such a classic and timeless piece. And I mean, I know to this day, like if I was to, put it on, people are like, oh my God, I love it. So thrifting has its perks for sure, especially because you can get it at a discounted price. And it allows you kind of play around and mix and match. And it's funny that you brought up estate shopping, Sharon, because I first learned about that through the First Wives Club. If you guys ever remember that movie, as a little kid, I was like, oh, okay, that's how we, okay. But no, like you can find so many amazing things, and why not? So I definitely am, and still to this day, I haven't thrifted as much because I don't see as many of the thrift shops like they used to be.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but however, if I do have the time and I kind of will tip through, I definitely will find some pieces and pull them. Absolutely.
Okay. So no wrong, no question is right or wrong. I'm just throwing out questions. So here's another one that really gets underneath my skin and my eyelids. Um, can you give advice to individuals, male or female, who wear garments or clothes? So we, as individuals or humans, we have our pack of friends, right? And we have our pack of friends, and they tend to. There's always that one person in the group that wants to be like somebody else. So, can you give advice to that one person who knows she's wrong or he's wrong, but he's trying to do or dress like his friend?
Mhm.
I experience this all the time in our castings. And maybe here, this will be a better platform for them to hear it from someone else as far as proportions. So, if you're petite and you're larger than a normal petite size. Like, can you give advice on that? Like shopping tips, if you're certain sizes, if you're familiar with different sizes, if you can give those tips, I think that would be very helpful to the audience that's listening. And it'll be a great way for us to start off 2024.
Um, I will definitely start off with that because I have seen it too many times. I have experienced it, and I don't like it. Um, however, again, it falls back to being one authentic, right? And we all have our own styles and everything else, but you must shop and must buy pieces that complement your body type. You must. So like me, I'm relatively tall. I'm 6'1". So wide leg pants on me always they're a hit, right? But if you're shorter, little petite, whatever, it may not look the same. No, at me. Now, I know that it's not going to look the same, right? And so you have to kind of be mindful of those things, right? Or kind of wearing oversized clothing versus something that's a bit more fitting. If you have a bit more of a bit more rounder in the stomach area, they hit up Tokes and get them belts because the belts will cinch in your waist and it will add a new flair, a new look. You see, yes, yes, people, get into it, get into it. So, yes, like kind of pick up on those things. when it comes to, 'cause I know that's one, the definitely with the pants, cinching in the waist, and more importantly, just because your friend does not wear, or doesn't have to wear, the proper, well, certain undergarments, does not mean that you don't have to, because it's going to look totally different on you than it looks on them. So you have to be mindful of all of those things. And to be honest, undergarments are really a huge part of fashion, even though people don't think it is because you can't see it, but it's a part of it because it's all about how the overall look is going to come out to be. So that's my word of the day.
I don't know how I can't even follow that. How am I supposed to follow that? Because Darius dropped all the gems, mic drop. But yes, I couldn't agree more. It's funny that you mentioned undergarments because I was going to say the same thing around. It's important that women know that there are certain undergarments that are necessary for different types of outfits, especially when we start talking. It's about to be prom season already, y'all. If we're talking about formal wear, like a lot of young girls, right, need to hear that in terms of undergarments are actually not a bad thing when it comes to formal wear. So that's one place where I see people sometimes not doing what they could do to make an outfit look even better by not choosing the right undergarments. So I would say I definitely second that. And yes, just because I feel like this should be dressing 101. Just because something looks good on someone else doesn't mean it's going to look good on you. So we have to know what looks good on your body. And I hate to say it, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So even at this, phase, as much as I consider myself to be, a fashion, girl, I will still text friends or my sister-in-law and say, "Hey, does this look good or does this or like or no, like, you know what I mean?" So there's nothing wrong with asking and know who to ask. Like, don't ask the people who are yes people who just want to tell you what you want to hear, right? Go and ask people who keep it all the way 100, and they're going to tell you what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And ask, if you yourself feel like you don't really know what works for your body type, try on a couple of different things and then bring a friend with you either to the store or take pictures and then send them and ask them, "What do you think? How does this look?" Right? Do I need a belt? Do I need to cinch it in? Does it make me look like this? Doesn't it do I look overwhelmed, right, in this outfit because the outfit is wearing me? So I think those are some little tidbits that might be helpful for people like that who try to, dress like other people and aren't really thinking about whether or not it makes sense for their body type.
So, so speaking of body type and moving into this next statement or question, would you be open to helping individuals who would like help in that area? Because when I used to, when I ran Benai, which stood for Baltimore, New York, it was our agency. The models that came in that weren't, they didn't know that they had it. So we would go. I had a huge connection with Arundel Mills Mall, and we would go out there and we would just try on stuff. So because they aren't introduced to different styles or different garment pieces that would accentuate their shape or their body or just their aesthetic or their personality, because that all plays a key point in style. I would take them to the mall and show them what looks good on them. Would do either of you offer that services for anyone who's listening or may have the need for it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be open to that. I've done it before. It's been a little minute, but I would definitely do that because it's just like you said, also with the personality and your swag and like it's one thing to step outside of your comfort zone, but it should not look forced. And a lot of times you'll see people and you're like, they don't even look comfortable in that. They don't know. Whereas though where like today we're all having different looks, but it's our own personalities and we're very confident in it, we're sitting in it, it doesn't look forced or anything. So absolutely, you want to be able to have a good balance of being your authentic self and stepping outside of your comfort zone and making sure that it is in the great in the best proportion and sizing and things of that nature to feature your best features. So like someone who's a bit more top heavy or bottom heavy, whatever, no, you may not need to have the deepest of cut. You might need to have a little something different. So, Absolutely not. Hit me up, guys.
Tokes, do you have anything to say? I know you
Sorry.
hate to follow Darius. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm laughing because yes, Darius is right. But yes, I haven't done so similar to Darius. I have not done like individual styling sessions in so long. But yeah, I'm open to it. If someone needs my help, just DM me on Instagram, Tokes Take on Style, and we can talk. Because I used to do virtual consultations also. So yeah, yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. So if anyone has any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, you can drop it in the comment section or Facebook, just drop it. When this interview is over, we will share it. I would also like, we're going to take a pause for the cause for me. I would also like if everyone could go to baltimorefw.com and join our email list. A lot of things are coming down the pike. We've separated stuff that a rebranding is hitting. So you want to be a part of it. And I would strongly recommend, and I'll put it up on the screen that my publicist has for me to do. So just go to baltimorefw.com and you can subscribe to our email list, and emails will start to go out really soon. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask each other?
Darius, what's the best way to reach you?
But so you guys can find me on Instagram. It's underscore Mr. Dress in Rest. I think it shows up on the icon at the
On the
bottom.
night, yep.
Yeah. So you can find me on there. Same thing on TikTok, but on there you'll find like my contact as far as like my number, email, all of things as well on both of those social media handles.
So Darius,
Nice.
your IG, I'm sorry, your IG is at underscore Mr. Dress ampersand rest. Was the A and
Um,
D?
and as in the word.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm adding it now.
Yep. Nice.
Mhm.
And
Thank
then
you.
Tokes can be found on IG. Nobody uses Facebook anymore for me. Is that because I'm almost 60? I don't know. Anyway, Tokes take on
On style. Thank you.
Tokes take on stuff. Okay. So second request, if anybody has any questions to for our panelists. Oh, we were also supposed to doing the live if we were going to go do Zoom, but this is better because doing the live you have to incur a lot of background noise, and that sends me. So we decided to do this version for the interview. If you registered online, and I will be able to know because the email address will be my Bible. If you want to send 3 images of you in a garment, it can't be the garment on a hanger. That doesn't count. That's a designer meeting. So if you want to send you in a garment being styled and you registered online, there's a possibility that if Tokes and Darius selects you, we're only selecting one member because the sister got a budget. um, we're only selecting one member, and person can win $50, and it will be cash app to you. I'm not doing Zelle. I don't feel like it. So if you want to be a part of that, we will give. How long do you want to give them to send the email? I mean, to send the images.
Um, should it be until tomorrow?
Okay, so we will need your image. Send at least three.
Mhm.
At least 3 images by tomorrow, and I'll put the email address in the comments. So you will send it to runway at fashionumbrella.org, which is, let me make sure I spelled it right, which is the new email address for info at baltimore-fashionweek.com. Too much to type. I'm over it. Okay, great. Told y'all rebranding. So you want to send to runway at fashionumbrella.org. 3 images. You must be in the garment. If you are selected, you will receive an email. The email you use must be the email you use to select to get your ticket on Eventbrite. We can't have anybody coming in who didn't register. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. So I don't have any other questions for you. I just had, and Tokes, I know what your answer would be. So you got to pick another one. So if you could be one accessory, you cannot say belt. If you could be one accessory, what would it be and what would it look like? No, Tokes, I want you to say belt because I want to know what you would say. So if you could be one accessory, what would it look like? What color would it be? And how would you design it? Go.
You know I'm gonna say belt. I have to. I can't not. That would be it would be blasphemy. Not to, it would be an abomination for me not to say belt. So the one accessory would be a belt. And in terms of, colors and whatnot, I think I would start with metallics because metallics are a neutral and people forget that. So I would say it would be gold or silver so that folks who, don't know where to start, there's at least the option of starting with a baseline neutral. And then later on after you get comfortable, then you can branch out and go crazy with like pops of color. But we would start with metallics since those are nice neutrals. Darius, what about you?
Tokes, I'm glad you said belts because everything's totally against your brand, darling. Okay, you must say belts. I think for myself, some people may look at it as an accessory, some may not, but a blazer. I love a good blazer. I mean, in different colors, it could be embellished, it can be simple, it could be pinstripes, it can be patterns. Because with blazers, it's like they can be such statement pieces, and especially for the ladies, I mean, you can literally wear a blazer as a dress. Put on a nice sky high boot with it, get one of those belts from Tokes, cinch it in. But it can be a whole thing. So I just love it. And you dress them up, dress them down. Blazers are my thing. I love it.
Oh, she's someone's ooh, love a good blazer.
Yes, you never go wrong. Never go wrong.
So for me, although you didn't ask, I love a good shoe. So had we had this event down the library, my fit Tokes, you would have been so
But you look great though, and I was gonna
Yes,
say I
excited.
didn't get to say earlier. I
Wait,
love the rosette because
oh,
rosettes are
thank
yes,
in.
you.
So yes,
yes.
rosettes and ribbons. Yeah, I have my ribbon. You've got the rosette, and Darius has a blazer, which are also in. So look at us, okay,
We're
trending.
in our element. We're in our
Yes,
element. Authentic people.
And
and
this
we
is
didn't
a
even plan it.
we did, and this is a gift from a designer from Baltimore Fashion Week. I think 2009. She does accessories. She has blown up since then, but she did accessories and she gave me this, and it's made out of paper, I believe. She made the flower and everything.
Is
It's a
that the
thing,
one
and I've
you
had
wore
it that
with
long.
the dress?
Say that again.
Is that the same one you wore with like this dress, I think, one time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I've had it for a minute. Yes,
Yes,
and,
See,
and
that's what
my
we were saying
earrings.
about certain things are timeless. They don't go out of style.
I
yes.
don't throw anything away because
Yeah.
it's going to come back, and if not, I'm
Yes.
making it come back when I wear it. So
Yep.
I was supposed to wear this long green, summery, um, green with pink sleeves, long chiffon
Oh,
maxi
wow.
dress with these silver metallic boots. Let me tell you how I was ready for you, Tokes. I said, she is not coming here, and no, she will not. So I have to give it to y'all another time. But that's what I was
Yes.
scared.
We want to see that
So,
again this year at some point.
oh, we have a question. Yay! So, who is your favorite emerging designer and why?
Ooh.
Tokes, you want to go first?
That's a hard one for me too. But what I'm going to say though, is I am going to rep my my birth country, which is Nigeria. Shout out to all the Nigerian people in the house. I'm going to say there are so many up and coming Nigerian designers out there. So in terms of designers that I've seen who are emerging, There are a couple of them. Don't ask me names right now because I'm
I
drawing a
will.
blank.
Okay. Okay.
But I can send that as a follow up. But yeah, in fact, someone had DM me just yesterday saying, "Oh my goodness, Nigerian designers are doing a lot," and I said, "Yup, we're on the map."
Yeah.
So that's what I will say is just folks who may not necessarily think about um, Afro design or Nigerian design or even other African countries like Ghana, even yeah, take a look because there's a lot going on when it comes to fashion and Africa.
Yeah, we have two designers that usually showcase in Fashion Week from, I think they're from Uganda, and they usually showcase. They've been here 5 times already, so they're amazing, amazing work. So Darius, I'm sorry.
No, to be honest, I am loving the youth, like the young up and coming, like they're actually still like kids, students. I don't know if you guys have had a chance yet to stop by the Baltimore Design School. There are some really talented kids there, and there's a student of mine that he's at the Seed School, but he is really talented. His name is Jordan Smith, and
I'm
I,
taking notes.
yes, Jordan Smith, and I'm going to actually have him showcase soon in an event. But the funny thing is with him, just kind of give a quick little backstory. I met him when he was 10, and so I was his counselor. We kind of just stuck by me, ended up being his runway coach, all the great things. And I remember he started doing sketches on like scrap, like loose leaf paper.
Hmm.
I made it my prerogative. I said I'm gonna get him a sketchbook. And so I got him a sketchbook, his first one, and by the end of that school year, it was totally filled. And so now he actually knows how to like sew.
Oh
Um,
wow.
it's amazing, and I love his designs. They're so creative. They remind me of like the blondes or
Mm.
like Heather Red. It's very like gender neutral, fun, pushes the envelope. So be on the lookout, guys. Like really, really
Well,
be on.
have him to register for Fashion Week.
I got you.
Be on the lookout. This is
Yeah,
the lookout. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'll probably get in trouble for that statement,
Uh, love
but
it.
it is.
Yes. Okay. So no, seriously. So kind of just encourage them. The youth. Because all the other ones I can't really think of because everybody kind of has been around for quite some time now.
Hmm.
But yes, him for sure. And there's some students at Baltimore Design School that are really, really talented.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Please have him to register. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Yay. So does anybody have questions? Because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it's cold outside from what I
It
heard.
is freezing,
Is
people.
it really?
It is cold.
It
I was
was
gonna
hot
wear.
here.
I was gonna wear fur originally, but
Well,
Had it been in person, that would have been nice.
but the cool part is gonna be kind of like that, kind of like urban chic kind of thing. I was gonna do like a cute like hoodie with it, with the
mhm.
fur, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
It's always a thing with you, Darius. And you too, Tokes. Jeez, I can't. You really
I
got to be
love
on
the energy. I love it.
your. What say that again?
No, I said I love this energy, and no, like no, seriously, we have to take this a quick moment to shout you out. You have always created safe spaces for fashion for people of, especially people of color, be-
Oh, thank you,
and to do it
Darius.
right, and to do it right.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
seriously,
you,
as
Sharon. Yep.
as a professional, to really know how to navigate this thing and not just do the regular schmegler degler kind of thing. Let's do this right with some decency and order, and kind of think bigger picture, not just
Right, right.
Baltimore, because you want your brand to go
Yeah.
beyond your city. And so, thank you, seriously.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. That's so cool. Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
I want to thank God for this moment. I want to thank.
Yes, 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 yes,
I
yes.
want to
No,
thank my godparent for pushing me
no,
and my
seriously,
family.
because I took you naming me Nigel to heart. I took that like wow, like
Because
she
you were him. If you ever watch Devil Wears Prada and you see
Yes.
Nigel, that is
Hmm.
Darius. That is Darius. And
Wow.
he is still my Nigel. Although we don't work together as close as we used to, he will always be my Nigel. Or
Aww.
Oh, it's gonna be my Miranda. No, seriously, when they seen us two coming, they said, "Oh, shucks, okay, it's business time now. Guard your loins, people. Guard your loins. She's coming through. She's coming through, and she
You
hasn't
better
peaked
get it.
yet.
You better get
Hello,
it right.
together. Let's get it together."
oh my God, you're gonna scare everybody away. They were ready.
Like, no, she's amazing. She's
That's
amazing.
great though.
Well,
And I
thank
feel
you,
like that
Darius.
that level of professionalism, right? It's great because that's what you're trying to instill
Mhm.
in these young designers so that they can think beyond, right? Just
Right.
Baltimore Fashion Week. They're going to be in New York. They might be
Yeah.
in Milan one day, like all these other places. So that was one thing I know when we met in person and we were talking accessories, right? And you were like, yeah, some of them don't know, how to like think about, matching up the right accessories with the right outfits on the models and you're like, and they need to think bigger because they're the goal, right, is for them to be
Right.
big one day. So they have to, start having that vision. Don't wait till you're big, right?
Right.
So yeah, yep.
Because my vision has never been for, although I'm in Baltimore, and when I first started, I really hated it because I would talk to people and they're like, "Oh, you're in Baltimore," but now I don't get that. I
Mm,
don't get. It's like that part. You can just say Fashion Week. They don't even. I'm not. So let me back. They acknowledge Baltimore Fashion Week, but now it's just like, oh, you're in Baltimore because they've seen or heard about what we produce and how we do our shows, and which is why everything is so elevated. It's elevated and it's streamlined. It's concrete, sequential. Like it's either yes or no.
mm,
So, and for a lot of people here, they don't take to that very well. And so with the brand, especially the direction we're going for Fashion Week moving forward, it's amazing. And I'm shout out to Linga Media Group, who's also the moderator for Linga Magazine here. They have really pushed me to understand what I have because I just work,
Hmm.
but now it's working, and I'm really seeing the vision after 16 years, because this is our
wow.
17th season. I'm really like actually seeing how it's done. I mean, from the production to the seating to the guests, the designer registration, the place. It's crazy.
Mm,
It's crazy, but in a good way. But you got to have people, it being in business, no matter what business it's in, fashion, engineering, science, you have got to have people in your corner who will be honest with you.
yes.
Like a lot of yes people only create a level of failure and non-success.
Mm,
So you got to have people who are strong enough to, because I don't consider myself, I'm very vocal and very direct. So
yes.
you got to have people in your corner. Like Tokes, when you and I met, we just chilled and we bonded.
Hmm.
It was like
Yes.
cool. We had conversations about things, and then you can see me going in and out of the. So I have two personalities. You have Sharon, then you have Dragon Lady. So as we talk, it's two different versions that may come out depending on what we're talking about. Because I'm very passionate about all of it, and so um, I'm just so glad that I ran into you, Tokes, from your. I think it was like your beginning live.
It was Instagram. Yeah, it was on
Closet.
Instagram Live. You happened to just stumble upon my Instagram Live, and we started chatting, and that's how we met. And then we met in person.
Yeah, because
After
when
that,
you first
so
started, you were in your closet. Wasn't that your closet?
I was in my closet.
Yeah.
The lighting was all fuzzy. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. But till today, I will always remember that live because that's when we met. And
Yeah.
even my one of my I have two sister-in-laws. One of them, she knows that story because anytime I'm like talking about you, she remembers because she was on that
Oh,
live too. And that was the first time, I met you. So really appreciate the support and just the encouragement because you'll, randomly DM me and send me or comment on my video and say, oh, I love it. Those little things go such, a long way. And to your point about wanting people who will be honest with you, right? One of my former leaders in a former life would always say feedback is a gift.
Hmm.
So I love that because that's what you want is people who are going to tell you, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. Like, because if you see something that doesn't make sense, you're like, mm. So I love that. So thank you for that, and also again giving us this opportunity today because now I've met Darius, who's equally wonderful. So thank you.
Hey,
So
new friend.
we're creating friendships here, people. That's
Yes.
so I want Toast, I want you when your brand is ready to be revealed to the world, I want you to come back. And I'm also working on something that I want to talk to you, both you and Darius about.
Oh,
And so
nice.
I really don't have any other questions.
That's
Okay.
fine.
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions that are here in a virtual audience? I don't know. Okay, I guess not. So they'll, I guess I'll hear it later if they do. So yay! So don't forget, go to baltimorefw.com. You can reach Darius at on Instagram at the Mr. Dress AND REST. Then you can reach Tokes on IG at the A with the circle at sign. Tokes take TOKES take on style. That's how you can meet her. You'll know her because she'll be dangling the metallic shoe.
And Darius has an underscore right in front of the
Oh yeah, you have an
yes.
underscore.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's
at
underscore
underscore
at
Mr.
underscore
Dress
Mr.
and
Dresser.
Rest.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me make sure I got it right. Yes, add
You got it right
underscore.
in the yeah, you have it
Okay,
right in the
good.
chat. Yep.
Praise God. All right. I'm the era queen. Yay. So thank you all for giving me just a few minutes of your Saturday.
Thank
It's
you.
done. We made it. It's here. We didn't have to come out in the cold,
I
although I miss
know.
wearing my dress. So I have to find another moment for that. But talk some serious, like Darius, you too. Whenever you want to come on, just let me know, and we
Yeah.
can make
Yes.
it happen. Especially Tokes with you and your accessories, your belt. I'm all for
Yep.
it.
They're coming. They're on the ship from China, so I'll be back.
Yeah.
You know what? It could be.
Sharon, you
I
would
don't.
have to come on to Brunch Buddies, my
Oh yes, I
my
would love
show. You
that.
have to
Oh
come on
I would
Brunch
my
love
Buddies.
that.
God, that's
Thank
the
So now,
you.
plan.
guys, the show will be in person. No more virtual lives. We'll actually will
Okay.
record in person. You'll come into the studio now. So we'll do our first. We are recording our first episode next Sunday. Um,
Nice.
in Waldorf, Maryland, with two-time Grammy winner, original member of Destiny's Child, Latavia Robertson, as she's
Yes.
so she'll be on, and I must have you on, Sharon, to come on and let's talk all things fashion, Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yay.
Okay. Oh my
Yes.
God. What
That's
I gotta
exciting.
do? What am I gonna wear? Oh my God.
everything, whatever you want to wear.
A
So
blazer and a belt.
right here, the belt. This belt is by.
A
So you can
blazer.
so thank you, seriously, all jokes aside, thank you so much for giving me, not knowing my interview style at all. You all believed in me and said, okay, Sharon, whatever. I'm just glad that you gave me this opportunity, and thank you. Thank you. And I wish the both of you much, like mega success. So much success. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Then you cry, real tears is on Instagram. Both of you will be crying. So my name
Thank
is
you.
Sharon Nixon. We have Tokes. Tokes, can you wave? And then we have
Thank
Darius
you.
Thompson. Yay! Tokes, how do you pronounce your last name? Ojo-Ade.
Ojo-Ade.
Ojo-Ade. Oh, that's
Yes.
pretty. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
So, and I'm Sharon Nixon. You can find me just social media, Baltimore Fashion Week, runway at fashionumbrella.org is how you can find me. BaltimoreFW.com. Please, I'm telling you, I've been spending nights switching stuff to get ready for this rebranding we're doing. And so go to Baltimore FW, check it out. If you have any questions, inbox us. Designer registration ends March 31st, and we are looking for emerging designers. Wait a minute, they have to be in middle and high school. No college students, sorry, not going that route anymore. So emerging is what it's going to be over here at Fashion Week. So if you're a middle or high school students and you can create 10 looks, then register and let's talk.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.